Okay. Now everything looks blurry to me in the viewfinder. Oh well. Maybe right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I didn't really pay too much attention, or I don't pay too much attention to the way that looks. I just want to make sure it's not pitted at all or notched. Just gonna test it here. I'm just going to shape it for now. I'm not going to do anything except drag it along the edge to try to reduce it a little bit. Get the feel for how the bone is removing flakes. It's removing them really, really easy, so it's not going to be a problem. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just applying what I call passive pressure. I'm just pushing until it pops off a flake. I'm not forcing it to pop off, I'm just waiting for it, putting enough pressure and just waiting for it. That's what I call passive pressure. It tends to give you a nice long flakes. Push inward and then slightly downward and just wait for it. Keep pushing and just wait for it. It'll release on its own. You see where that one terminated. Okay, same on the other side. I'm not going to prepare these platforms individually. I'm just going to take opportunistic flakes. Not much abrading. The bone is taking flakes off easily from this material, so I can abrade it quite a bit and get away with it. Now, if it was hard and I needed a good bite into it, I wouldn't abrade it so much. Yeah, I probably should have prepared that platform better, because that one just totally crushed. And I'm using a flaker that's a little bit too big anyway for the tip. Let's see if I can get it from the other side. Just brushing it back to turn the edge and prepare for some flakes. Just preparing this to remove flakes in this direction. Same thing, passive pressure. I was using this earlier and it's got some cracks in it. Again, I'm not too worried about how it looks. I just don't want any pits or cracks. Okay, which way was I going here? I'm just going to clean it up at random. Push and hold, push and hold, and just wait for that flake to come off. That one went a little bit past halfway. Let's try it again here. That last one was a passive one. The ones before, those little short ones, were aggressive. That was the passive one there. Nice size. But I'll do both types. I'll do aggressive, where I just clip off the flakes like that without waiting for them. I just clip it off. But this one here, I'm going to wait for it. There it is right there. So you get the idea. And that step fracture is going to stop me, so I'm going to try to take another one from the other side. Now once I get down further from the tip, I'm going to switch over to the larger pressure flaker, because it does matter what size of pressure flaker you're using. I think it matters. Anyway, I'm going to go a little bit faster, just so I don't spend forever on these. Flakes. Try to get in the zone. Yeah, if I talk, I won't be able to get in the zone, and I run into a situation where I get step fractures. Okay. And with a pressure flaker like this one, it's like an oval shape. I can take wider flakes by doing the flat side, or thinner flakes by doing the narrow side. So I'm going to do a mixture of passive and aggressive pressure flakes. But I'm not going to describe each flake. So obviously my goal here is to create a nice even surface that's sharp and doesn't have step fractures. I'm trying to get in the zone here to get this finished. As you can see, my technique is pretty random, and I'm getting impatient, and I don't prepare exactly the way I should be. But I'm trying to do several things at once here. For one, it's way too wide, or it was anyway. It's okay now. Another thing is I'm trying to figure out the best pressure method for releasing these flakes, and I'm getting movement in the workpiece, which is common with the abo. This movement here is what kills a lot of people as far as being able to remove flakes. That movement has to be minimized. This one right here. So I mean, I could develop a holder, I suppose, but on these particular pieces, these small pieces, these really comparatively small arrowheads, it would take too long to do that, especially if you had to make a dozen of these. And again, my hands aren't used to doing this, so I'm rusty on abo. So this is going to help me, to prevent some of that movement going on if I hold it more rigidly. But then it makes it more difficult for me to apply pressure this way because I can't use my leg on the other side. So there's a trade-off there. I get impatient with things like that, with those little islands. When you know you have another technique that can remove that in about 5 seconds. But I'm not going to use that in this video because it's a modern technique. So the width now is okay, but it's got a lot of boogery areas on here that are really getting me frustrated, and I'm losing my patience, and I'm trying to work without preparing. So what I'm going to do is not look at the time and see what I can do to finish this up. I just lost a tip because of the pad. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, this type of, I don't know if I've been in the frame all this time. Anyway, this type of situation is what the Native Americans seem to never have trouble with, but something I have trouble with constantly is with developing a crushed area that you just can't get past. You can't flake past it. And a lot of the real artifacts don't have anything like this. They don't have these type of problems. And I think what happens is they prepare for it in advance so that that doesn't come up. Now if I could figure out how they do that, I'll be okay. But one of the things that I get frustrated with about pressure is that those particular areas right there, the crushing that goes on, that you just can't get past. with the bone anyway. I could get past it with the copper in just a few minutes, but with the bone itself, I'm trying to get used to what works, because it's not always consistent. Even if, you know, what works down here might not work right here, it might not work right there. The edge varies, and with abo, it's one of those things where a slight variation in the properties of the material can change your whole edge. Whereas copper, it'll blow through any type of edge basically. With bone, you kind of have to feel your way, and that's something that I want to get good at. I don't know if I'll be able to within the time span of doing these videos, but hopefully I can set myself up to never encounter this type of thing. Just these crushed areas. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. I was able to get a little bit of a purchase on the edge and remove some of that, but let's see if I can remove all of it. I still see some lumpy areas and some boogery spots. Hopefully I can make it sharp all the way down. Without creating a second crushed area right behind that first one. I just had to apply some aggressive pressure there. I think that's my only choice. Alright, so I'm going to call that good. I don't like that area right there, but if I continue, I'm going to get a crushed edge there. I've been having some success with this one, but the smaller diameter flaker tip seemed to work better on the edge, so I was using that a lot. Let's see if I can just do an aggressive pressure removal right here. I'm using the same principle as indirect, and I can't be doing that. See, what I'm doing is I'm too far. I should be up here trying to remove flakes, but I don't want to remove any of the edge, so I'm in a position where I'm putting it on the edge like I'm using an indirect percussion flaker, and I can't do that with pressure. And what it does, it just crushes the edge. So hopefully that wasn't too bad for you guys. Thickness seems to be okay. It's plenty sharp. So that's it. It's good enough. It's a Nodena point. Okay.